Hello there, lzh234. I'm still technically on my self-imposed hiatus, and I'm probably going to be in that hiatus for a little while yet still. But I saw your video response, and I wanted to make a response to it because it's about your request, and I wanted to give you time to think about it while I still continue with my hiatus. And when I come back in a few weeks, maybe by then, you'll be able to decide what you want me to do. So I wanted to talk to you about that. For those who are saying, what the hell is he talking about? To show my appreciation for my first 10 subscribers, I decided I wanted to do a little something special for everyone. And so I want to do a little request for my first, 10 subscribers. I've done it for 3 of them, and lzh234 has put in the 4th of these requests. So I want to talk to him about that with this video. Now, in your video, you essentially made two, what I see as 2 separate requests. You requested a video or videos where I kind of talk about myself, I kind of introduce myself to everybody, and you made a request that I should tell some story about redemption. Now, I guess first of all, I kind of see that as 2 separate requests. And I've been thinking about this for a while, and I've decided that because for my first 3 requests, I only did a single request, I don't think it'd be fair for me to do 2 requests for you, and I've done only 1 request for everybody else. And it would also kind of be unfair to anyone else who put in a request after you, that they would have to wait online, so to speak, for multiple requests. So I decided I'm only going to do 1 of those as a request, though I certainly in the future I'll consider doing other things. But as far as this request go, I'm only going to do 1. So I wanted you to decide on which request you actually wanted more, and I'll go ahead and do that one. And I would recommend that you ask for the redemption video request, because as far as giving the personal information, you're kind of going to get that for free, whether you make a request or not. As a matter of fact, I think I've already given plenty of personal information so far. I mean, I wrote this down so I wouldn't forget, but just in no particular order. You'd mentioned, pictures of my kids or my wife. Well, my wife doesn't want to be on YouTube, but I have shown a video of my kids, and I've shown a picture of one of my children at his birthday party. In no particular order, as I said, I've spoken about my wife and my kids. I've even gone as far as having a video where I talk about the process of conceiving my kids, which is about as personal as you can get. I've talked about my politics, my passion for gay rights, my feelings about taxes, my feelings about Asian stereotypes, which are all kind of personal things to me. I've obviously spoken a lot about, not a lot, but it's obvious from what I wear that what teams I root for and how much sports is a part of my life. And I've spoken a little bit about being a sports fan. I've spoken about poetry, and I've actually, showed you some poetry I wrote and sang it. Talked about my love of the Beatles at one point, and so about what I feel about music. A lot of info on my channel page too, just a lot of general info there. I've spoken about childhood crushes, spoken with my mom recently, and I even gave a little video about how I got my YouTube name. So I've given a decent amount of personal information, and I'm going to continue to do that. One of the first videos I'm planning to make, if I can find energy to do it after my hiatus, is going to involve a story about my childhood and a lot about my experiences in high school. As I said, it's not the main focus of my videos, but anyone who makes a vlog gives away personal information, so as time goes by, you're going to learn more and more about me. So if the video you really want is the personal information introduction video, that's what you want most of all, more so than the redemption video. I will do the personal information video, but in a way it will almost be like wasting a request, because whatever I say in that 3 or 4 minute video, I'm going to eventually say over the next couple of months in my various videos. So I'm going to get all to that. So I'm going to give you personal stuff anyway. That's going to come. So I want to focus on the redemption video. And of course, if you don't want the redemption video, you want the personal stuff, I'll focus on that. But let's talk about the redemption stuff, because I found that really interesting. And I think that's a really good request, and it's the kind of thing I'm looking for. Something that's interesting, something that I probably wouldn't have done otherwise. I'm doing it as a request. That being said, it's going to be a challenge, and I kind of like that. I like that it's a challenge. The biggest challenge is going to be is that I think it would be best if, you know, the story is kind of like a personal story of redemption, either to me or a story about one of my friends or someone I know, because otherwise I could just like pick a story from the Bible, like the story of St. Paul, and I could tell that as a redemption story, but that wouldn't be really original or interesting. So I'd imagine you'd want a kind of a personal story. And the problem is, you know, I kind of see redemption as someone leading a bad life, doing something bad, and then turning their lives around. And I'm by no means a perfect person. I mean, like anybody else, there are things I've done in my life that I'm not proud of. But at the same time, I'm kind of the type of person that most people would describe as either a Boy Scout or a choir boy. You know, I never hung with the tough and rough crowd. I never really had a bad boy phase in my life. And most of the people I'm close to are kind of similar in that way. So I don't really have any great personal stories about, you know, living life on the edge and then redeeming myself or someone I know. I don't have a lot of those personal stories. I may think hard enough. Maybe I can think of someone I kind of knew, a friend of a friend, but I don't have a really good personal story about that. However, back in 1990, something happened to me which has very, very strong parallels to the movie The Shawshank Redemption. Something happened to me which has strong parallels to the character Andy Dufresne in The Shawshank Redemption. Now, I don't know if I necessarily consider that movie to really be about redemption. It's, as I wrote on my channel page, it's probably my favorite movie of all time. But I don't really know if it's really about redemption, at least as far as Andy Dufresne goes. But there are a lot of parallels, and I'm not going to spell out those parallels in this video because I'm afraid some people might not have seen The Shawshank Redemption, and it's such a great movie and I don't want to ruin it. So I'm going to write something, you know, in the description part of this video, and I'm going to list what the parallels are. But before I list them, I'm going to put at the top of the comments, you know, spoiler alert, do not read this if you've not seen The Shawshank Redemption. So I'm going to warn you there, and I'm warning you here. If you haven't seen The Shawshank Redemption yet, do not read the description of the video over there. Don't read it until you've seen The Shawshank Redemption. I strongly recommend, you know, watching that movie. Even if you've read Stephen King's short story, I think the screenwriters, as great as Stephen King is, I think the screenwriters actually improved upon Stephen King's short story. It's really a fantastic movie. In any case, I have a story that strongly parallels that in a lot of ways, and I think it'd be a cool story to tell. I've told it before. I mean, when it happened to me, I had to tell all my friends the story over and over again, and they wanted me to tell other people, and it got to the point that I once told the story in front of a group of about 300 people at this banquet for some event, and it was received very well. I haven't told the story to a large group probably in about 10 years, but, you know, it's a fun story to tell. The one drawback is to tell the story right could take as long as half an hour, so this might be split over 2 or 3 videos. Maybe I can get it done in 2 if I tell it really fast. But to tell it right, it's probably going to take at least 3 videos. But I don't mind doing that if someone wants to hear the story. In any case, that's probably the closest I can come to a personal redemption story. Something that parallels the Shawshank Redemption. If that's not going to fly, you know, I'll try to think of some other redemption story. And I'll do the best I can. But I want you to consider that. So consider whether or not, you know, you want the personal info video or you want the redemption video. And if you do want the redemption video, let me know if you think the whole Shawshank Redemption video is a good idea. If not, I'll think of something else. And I've got a feeling that once someone reads these comments, they're probably going to want me to do the Shawshank thing anyway eventually. But, you know, I would like to do it as a request for you, because you inspired me to do this because of your redemption request. So I'd like to do it for you if you'd want me to. So in any case, that's all I got to say in this video. The little boys are napping right now. I got to go check on them. So once again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.